Rob. This video, we're going to get back into the reviews for the 2013 movies that I saw that many people requested me to do. And I know it's been some time, but this time we're going to review Star Trek II Into Darkness. Okay, guys, welcome back. Now, I enjoyed the first Star Trek. I thought it was a great movie. Now, I'm not a big Trekkie fan. I'm not. I've never watched. Not. I don't want to say I never watched the show. I have, but not consistently. I've never watched one season after the other. I've never watched 2 or 3 episodes in a row. Sometimes it just came down to me just popping it on because there was nothing else on. From a movie standpoint, for the most part enjoyed them, including the older ones with, Leonard Nimoy and that crew right there, and I think the reason I've never been into Star Trek very much is because I grew up watching Star Wars, which is more action-packed, and I'm the kind of guy that tends to like more action-based movies. With that said, I think that's why this new era of Star Trek movies I enjoy more because they're more action-based. So, with that said, the second movie, I kind of feel for a lot of hardcore Star Trek fans because while I enjoyed it, I completely understand why they're upset. And the 2 movies are so different because the first one I thought it was very charming. I thought it had a nice action. It was very entertaining. I just really enjoyed it overall. It just was, for me, it was not a bad movie. I thought it was very enjoyable. The second one kind of lacked that charm a little bit for me, and again, it's not a bad movie for me. And Benedict Cumberbatch, he's a fine actor. I mean, that guy is really on top of his game right now with the whole, obviously in this movie with doing the voice of Smog. He's doing his thing. The whole Khan thing, I think, well, that's one problem, is that he didn't mention, he lied straight up. And this is the thing, and I've spoken about this before in a lot of my other videos, specifically the Godzilla videos, because I've always told people, don't believe everything Hollywood tells you. That was, I think, they dropped the ball there big. The second thing, and I think this is probably what did him in, and even though the movie was financially successful, but it got a lot of criticism, especially from hardcore fans, about the Khan thing, and then on top of that, taking one of the most beloved characters in this series, which is Spok, and taking him out of a position in a former movie where he made the ultimate sacrifice and made people even love him more. And then to come back to this movie and reverse the roles with Kirk I gotta say, that was intentional or not by J.J. Abrams. It was a slap in the face. I mean, even when I saw that, I was like, ooh, that was not a good move, And because I'm not a hardcore Trek fan, I still can enjoy the movie from a different perspective. But I know some people who are hardcore Trek fans. My cousin is a hardcore Trek fan. I can understand where they're coming from because you just don't take one of the top moments in this series, going back to the Wrath of Khan from the original movie series, and take that scene, which is very heartbreaking, very emotional when it happened, and maybe not for all people. I understand that. Not everybody's a Trekkie, but I understand the hardcore Trek fans, and that for them, that was an epic scene. And it was the kind of scene that you love and you hate at the same time. You love it because you see Spock's sacrifice for not only his friend Jim, but the people, the classic line, the needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few. And that was an epic scene for Trek fans. So for J.J. Abrams to turn around and take that scene and put Kirk in it, oof, that hurt. I mean, it hurt me for other Trek fans. That's how bad it was. Now, in terms of the movie overall, the Khan thing was like, it's almost like he gave in. Like, people wanted Khan so bad that he kind of just, it's almost like he forced the issue. He didn't really let, and again, I'm trying to see it from a Trek's perspective, which is not easy. Because for me, I thought it was a great movie. I had a lot of fun watching it. Benedict Cumberbatch was great in his role as Khan, and obviously I like the crew and the cast. I'm a big Carl Urban fan, especially after Lord of the Rings and now Almost Human. So, and I love him playing Bones. But the whole Khan thing was just it just did not feel right. Like he should have just been a villain, any villain other than Khan. He should not have been Khan. I can agree with that for the people who didn't like it. But at the same time, I like the way where 1 minute he's like an anti-hero, and the second minute now they're trying to kill him. Spock played him so good at the end. Oh man, that was epic. I was so great. And the other thing I like about the movie is that you see in the beginning, Spock and Kirk, while their relationship has greatly improved, Spock is still doesn't get what Kirk tries to do sometimes. Like, he's still so by the book that he unintentionally throws Kirk under the bus and probably cost him, or actually did cost him, the chair. So it's interesting to see that, because that's not what Spock wanted to do. He's just following his duty. And the thing I like about that is later on you see that he learned, and he leveraged what he learned on Khan, and that kind of stuff I like. Those kind of elements of the movie were good for me, and the action was great. That one starship that was just kicking the shit out of the Enterprise, and that's another thing wasn't too crazy about the movie. Like the Enterprise, like in the last movie, you see that it finds a way, the crew finds a way to outsmart, Nero. And in this movie, and even though Nero's ship was, obviously overpowered them and overmatched them, they used their wits to figure out a way to overtake him. Where in this one, it didn't really feel that way. Like, yeah, we saw Spock use his wits against Khan, but you're telling me that crew couldn't outwit the other, and I don't remember his name. I mean, I know it was James Wood, the actor, but it wasn't James Wood. Excuse me. They both look alike, but I forget this guy's name. You're telling me they couldn't outsmart him? I mean, yeah, I know he's a big time Starfleet guy and all this and all that, but I thought that what I thought was a great scene was when the superior ship caught up with them in warp speed and started blowing them out of the sky. That was incredible. But look, it was a good movie, but obviously there were a lot of faults in this movie compared to the first one. And I know a lot of people are not fans of the movies. I like them both. I enjoyed them both overall. I do like the first one much better than the second one. I really do agree that the Khan thing was really forced. They should have left that alone, maybe for a third one, and maybe never even touch it, because that movie is like gold. Wrath of Khan is gold for Trek fans. That's like the epic movie of all time for Trek fans. You don't just take that and just mess with it the way he did. But I think the biggest epic fail in that movie was reversing the roles of Spock and Kirk. Not smart. Not a good move. I do agree with that. So, but anyway, guys, those are my thoughts on Star Trek II Into Darkness. Overall, it was a fun movie to watch, but it was not better than the first one. And J.J. Abrams probably had Star Wars on the mind towards the end. Maybe he knew something that we didn't at the time, and he's like, all right, let me hurry and finish this movie so I can start on Star Wars, because, it just kind of looked that way. So, but anyway, guys, that's it for this video. This is Rob signing off for ETN, where we don't do news, we just talk entertainment. Take it easy. Hey guys, welcome to Entertainment Talk Nation. I'm your host, Rob. This video, we're going to get back into the reviews for the 2013 movies that I saw that many people requested me to do. And I know it's been some time, but this time we're going to review Star Trek II Into Darkness. Okay, guys, welcome back. Now, I enjoyed the first Star Trek. I thought it was a great movie. Now, I'm not a big Trekkie fan. I'm not. I've never watched. I don't want to say I never watched the show. I have, but not consistently. I've never watched one season after the other. I've never watched 2 or 3 episodes in a row. Sometimes it just came down to me just popping it on because there was nothing else on. From a movie standpoint, I've for the most part enjoyed them, including the older ones with, Leonard Nimoy and that crew right there, and I think the reason I've never been into Star Trek very much is because I grew up watching Star Wars, which is more action-packed, and I'm the kind of guy that tends to like more action-based